and welcome back to another weekly vlog. This week is going to be very exciting because I will be going on vacation for 3 days this week, and so I have a lot of exciting things planned for then. This week I'm also getting my nails done. That's actually tomorrow. But yeah, this week I have a very big focus, and that is to read my physical TBR. That is what I want to really focus on this week. So yes, hopefully I do manage to read a lot, because I know when I go on vacation at the end of this vlog, I am going to be visiting some bookstores, and I think we all know by now that I have zero impulse control when it comes to me being in a bookstore. So I'm expecting to acquire quite a few new physical books, but yes, let's try and finish out this month strong and read a lot this week. Last week I managed to read 4 books, which I was really proud of because that was coming off of not reading at all for the entire month of May. So I was very proud of that. And yeah, I want to continue that momentum into this vlog. So first, I am still reading The One. I am still only about 50 pages into this book. I didn't read it all last week, but again, I am focusing on reading my physical TBR. Obviously, I have a physical copy of this one, so I am hoping to get to it. And this one does read very fast, so we shall see. And I'm also listening to the audiobook of Soundtrack, which is a very short audiobook. I think it's only 4 hours, or I'm listening to it on 1.5 times speed, which I think makes it 4 hours. I don't really know the regular time for it, but either way, it is a very short audiobook, so I know I will be finishing that one this week. But other than that, I don't really have any plans of what I want to read. I'm just going to sort of mood read off of my shelves. I also do need to think about what books I want to bring on vacation with me. Definitely some beachy summery reads for sure, but we will see closer to when I leave of what I am feeling. But yes, we are starting this book with 259 books on my overall TBR, so let's see how many of those books we can read this week. So I started this vlog off on Tuesday, and it is now Friday, so let me catch you up on everything that has happened. So on Wednesday, I did go and get my nails done. I wanted some like bright summery colors, so this is what I went with. I also finished The One, and I am giving this one 4.5 stars. This one really shocked me with how much I ended up loving it. It wasn't necessarily a 5-star read, but it was very, very close, and I cannot believe that it took me so long to read this book. This isn't necessarily the kind of like suspenseful type of thriller you would normally think of. I feel like it's more of a character study. This definitely feels like sort of a contemporary lit fic type book that has a lot of secrets. There is a serial killer in this book, so like it does have its darker moments, but overall you're just following these characters getting into these relationships, and there is of course a twist. I feel like this is more of a study on how people would react to such technology being invented. I don't even know if I said what this book was about in this vlog or if it was the last vlog, but this book is following a bunch of characters, and there is this sort of matchmaking site that goes based on your DNA. So basically you have a one true pairing. It's sort of exploring that of what happens when people can find who they are genetically made for, because of course there are people who are already in happy relationships, but then they find out that maybe that person that they're with isn't who they are matched with. Or of course, like I mentioned, there is a serial killer in this book who does get matched with someone. So it delves into a lot of things, and I just found that very fascinating. I love a book that makes me think, and since I'm not that much of a mystery kind of girly, I definitely liked that this book didn't hinge on what's going to happen, what are all the secrets. It's just more of a look at how these characters react to this world that they're in, and I just found it super fascinating. And since I finished that one, I decided to pick up Within These Wicked Walls. I said for this week I wanted to focus on reading my physical books, so I do have this one physically. However, I made it 60 pages into this one, and I'm sadly going to DNF it. So this is a YA sort of gothic fantasy with some like horror vibes, but also with a romance, and I just think it was doing a little too much. I got to the part where we figure out who the romance is going to be between, and I am not a fan. Also, this is a Jane Eyre retelling. I did forget to mention that. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of who the relationship was going to be with, and also the fantasy element that also has to do with like the horror elements. I feel like it wasn't explained enough, that it sort of just gives our main character's background, and then like the whole magic system is kind of kept hush-hush, and I just needed something more from this. I just think it was doing a little too much, and also I just don't tend to pick up YA too often. I did think this one was going to be my sort of thing, which is why I have a physical copy of it, but it is just not working for me, and I just have a feeling that this one is at most going to be a 3-star, but really there's no reason for me to continue it. I just know it's not for me, so sadly I am DNFing this one. I am also 35% into the audiobook of Soundtrack, and this one I'm really enjoying. I think my main complaint is just that I'm not the biggest fan of production kind of audiobooks where, like, I love a full cast audiobook, but when there are sound effects going on to like bring you into the story, it actually takes me out of it. So this one, the whole book revolves around our main character who's very into music, whose entire world surrounds music, and he is joining a band. So there's a lot of musical instruments going on in the background as the audiobook narrators are talking, and that is just way too much going on for me. It really takes me out of the story and makes it hard for me to concentrate on what the narrators are saying. But like, the story itself is really good. For like a YA book following a character who is sort of coming of age. I believe he is 18 in this book. He's sort of figuring out what he wants to do in his life. He has some family dynamics that he is working out, and he's making new friends, joining a band. Like, the whole story is really good. It's very sad that this is only available as an audiobook, because I would really like to read it some other way, just so it's easier for me to concentrate on it, and that's why it's taken me so long to finish this one, because I am listening to this one very slowly. It definitely takes a lot of my focus, so I can't necessarily do other things while listening to it, but it is still a really good story. I am 65% into the ebook of The Other Mothers, and this is a nonfiction book about the author's journey as a lesbian woman trying to get pregnant. It delves into a lot of different aspects of motherhood and what it's like for lesbians to become parents. It talks a lot about like sperm banks and sperm donations. It talks about a lot of different like dealing with doctors, different medical procedures. It touches on the adoption agencies and how it's sort of an ethical dilemma to adopt. And overall, this book is just really fascinating so far. It is a very tough read because you're following the author's journey as she really wants to be a mother, she really wants to get pregnant, and she is dealing with some infertility issues and is just really struggling with the whole medical side of getting pregnant, and so this is just a very fascinating book, and it's also one that I've had on my ebooks TBR for so many years now, and I've just never gotten around to it, but I am really enjoying reading it. It is just such a fascinating look into this author's life, and I'm learning a whole lot from it, which I always love. But that is all of the updates. Today I'm going to be focusing on getting ready for my vacation. I need to pack and just like do stuff around the house before I leave in the morning. So yeah, I'm super excited, although the weather does say it is going to be thunderstorming all weekend, which is definitely ruining all of my plans to sit out by the pool. So hopefully that does end up changing, because Florida weather, you never know what happens. But yes, I am still super excited. Definitely excited to go to a whole bunch of bookstores, go out to eat, and yeah, it's just gonna be a super fun time. But let me tell you what books I am planning on bringing, because I am definitely bringing way more than I need to. So of course, for my 3-day vacation, I had to bring 3 books, which I say is very good, because last time when I went on a little weekend getaway just for 2 days, I still brought 3 books. And now I'm only going on a 3-day vacation with 3 books, with plans to stop at bookstores. So either way, I think it's very good for me, but I'm bringing book lovers, because I feel like Emily Henry is like the epitome of like a summer beachy read, and so I had to bring this one. I'm not sure if I will actually read it, because I'm not really sure if this is necessarily the mood I'm in, but if I do decide this is the mood I'm in, I will have it with me. I'm also bringing Do I Know You. I mentioned that I got this one last week, so you can see me get this one in last week's vlog, but this again is a summer beachy romance. This one is a little more romance heavy than like the Emily Henry book, which is why I want to bring it. And so yeah, I am bringing this one and hopefully reading it. But of course, my main priority is going to be Problematic Summer Romance by Hazelwood. I am so excited to get to this one. Again, summer romance, perfect for the beach, sitting by the pool. Super excited to get to this one. This is definitely going to be the one I will be starting. Who knows how much time I will even have to read, because I have so many things I want to do while I'm on vacation, but I will definitely at least be starting this one, and I'm just super excited for it. So yes, these are the 3 books that I am bringing with me on my vacation. Hello, I'm going to have to do this super fast because it is so hot outside and I turned off the car for this. But I am on vacation. I probably have just a little bit of B-roll to add into this vlog, but definitely not a lot. A lot of our plans have sort of not necessarily been ruined, but have been pushed back because of how rainy it has been this weekend. But I have stopped at a bunch of bookstores, and so I do have a book haul today. So let's quickly talk about these, and then I will update you on sort of what I've been reading, which definitely hasn't been a lot. But the first book I got is Maeve Fly. I have already read this book and I gave it 5 stars, so I wanted a physical copy for my shelves. So this does not count as adding a book to my TBR, luckily. But yes, I absolutely love this book. It is a horror book. It's one of my all-time favorites, so I'm very happy to have this one for my shelves now. I also have Mary, which is a horror book I have heard so many good things about, but I don't really know too much about it, and I don't really want to because I like to keep things a surprise. Oh, and these 2 I got at Books A Million. I got it at the Books A Million that was attached to a mall we went to, so that was fun. Not in the plans, but still fun. And then I got these 2 books at Steamy Lit, which is my first time going to that bookstore, and it is absolutely adorable in there. And I got a few more things from there, but my boyfriend bought them for me for my birthday. Also, sorry if I'm sweating. It is like 100 degrees outside right now, and again, I turned the car off so that noise would not be loud. But I got The Lovers, which is a sapphic second chance romance, which just looked absolutely adorable, and I just love that it's like the lovers, like the tarot card. So yes, this was definitely a cover buy. I also got Ride With Me, which is a Formula One romance that I have heard so many people talking about, and this was actually the like book club pick for Steamy Lit when I went. So that was a fun little coincidence, but I saw this one and I had to get it. And we also had a brief stop at Target, so I picked up 9-month contract, and I just love these frayed edges. They are adorable, but I don't know what this one is about. It is just a cover buy for me, so yeah. I am so sorry if you can hear how loud the car is now that I turned it on, but it was getting way too hot. I was getting way too sweaty. But to continue on, I haven't actually read too much. I did start Problematic Summer Romance like I knew I would, but I believe I have read the first 3 chapters so far, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I didn't know it was connected to one of Ali Hazelwood's other books, so it was nice to get to see like mentions of these other characters. So my camera actually stopped recording in the middle of what I was saying, and I didn't realize it, but to continue my little update, I am enjoying Problematic Summer Romance, and I'm hoping to at least get halfway through it before my little vacation ends. So right now my boyfriend has gone to go get us some food, and then we're just gonna like chill at the hotel room. We've been trying to do a lot today, and just everything is just not working out the way we had planned it to. So we're gonna try and do some more stuff tomorrow before we actually end up driving home. But yeah, my plan's 50% of the way through Problematic Summer Romance, which will probably happen tonight while just like chilling at the hotel. And yeah, my TBR definitely hurts. I definitely need to stop buying books, but like I knew that was gonna happen on this vacation. And also my birthday is coming up, so more books are going to be bought. But yeah, I will update you when we do some more stuff, and hopefully there will actually be more B-roll footage. Welcome to the end of the vlog where I do a little wrap up of how the week went. It was definitely an interesting week. Not much went the way it was supposed to go. Plans got all messed up, but that's okay. I still had my vacation, and even though that did not necessarily go as expected, it was still fun to just not be home, to be somewhere else, and just have a little mental break. But let's go ahead and wrap up the books I've read first. So I'm not exactly sure what all I have talked about and what I haven't, just because the few clips that I did film while on vacation, things got messed up and everything, and I haven't really reviewed all the footage that I have to see what all I talked about. But I did end up DNFing the audiobook of Soundtrack. This is one I would definitely pick up if they ever decided to make another format of this one, because right now it's just like an audio exclusive. But yeah, I just could not do all of like the background sounds for this. It just really was not working for me. But the story itself I was absolutely loving, so this one is a very big disappointment, but it is what it is. I also ended up DNFing the ebook for Wait For It. This is one I had read the first chapter of when I was doing my ebook try chapter and like unhauling a bunch of them. But this is one I had kept because I was interested in it, and I decided to pick this one up on vacation. Like whenever like we were waiting like in the car or like whatever we were doing, I would like read this ebook, and I just really could not get into it, so I did decide to DNF this one. I did, however, manage to read Problematic Summer Romance while on vacation. I did finish it my last day, so we did drive back from our vacation on Monday, and so I had about half of it read, and I read the other half while at home. but it was still during this week's vlog, so it still counts. But this one I'm going to go ahead and give a 4.5 star rating to. It wasn't my perfect book, but it was definitely fun and definitely very messy. But I really enjoyed this one, and it was fun getting to see some characters from one of Ali Hazelwood's previous books. And I know that some characters in here are also mentioned that are from Deep End, and I have not read that yet, but it definitely is making me very eager to pick that one up. I'm also not sure if I ever talked about the other mothers, if that was in this vlog or last week's vlog, so I'm just gonna put it here if I never mentioned it in either, but I did give this one 4.5 stars. This was an ebook I had. Again, I'm not sure if that was for this vlog or the other one, but I'm mentioning it again. And then the audiobook I decided to start was Lights Out, and this is one that my coworker had recommended to me, and it is also one that I have decided to buddy read with my nail tech, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. It is a dark romance, but I have read the first 2 chapters of it, and it just seems so like unserious, so I'm really enjoying this one so far. But I did manage to read a book for every prompt for Clear Shit, so I did hit my goal for this week, or for June, because I love participating in that readathon, and I managed to read a book for every prompt, so I'm very pleased with myself. It was a great way to end off June. Now, quickly going through this little book haul of all the books I got while on vacation. So we have Maeve Fly, 9-month contract, The Lovers, and Ride With Me. So all of these except Maeve Fly are being added to my physical TBR. Maeve Fly is one that I have already read and gave 5 stars to. But let's go ahead and talk about the numbers I am ending off on. Definitely not a lot of progress this week, but I have a lot of fun plans for July, and yeah, we will talk about that in a moment. So I'm ending this week off with a total of 258 books on my TBR. 37 of those are ebooks, 113 are audiobooks, and then 108 are physical books. So now planning for next week, which technically starts today, but you know, I'm ending this vlog off a little late. But yes, July is a month that I am hoping to really get a lot of books off of my TBR. So as I have mentioned before, I did an ebooks try a chapter, like clearing out my whole like Kindle TBR type video, and I want to do another one of those for my audiobooks. So I keep talking about how every month I get more and more audiobooks, and that's because of Libro.fm. I am a part of their influencer like ALC program, so I do get to choose from those every month, and that does add a lot to my TBR, especially when they do their BOGO sales and you get 2 audiobooks for just 1 credit. Either way, I have so many audiobooks, and I feel like I am a very picky person when it comes to audiobooks, whether it just be like the narrator just like I'm not vibing with it, to like what I said about soundtrack, like if there's too much background noise with the audiobook, I can't really listen to it. So I would like to go and like try a chapter of all of my audiobooks and see which ones I can get off of my TBR. So that is my big plan for July. We will see if I manage to do it in July, but I am very excited and very nervous. But I think it'll be really nice to get a lot of audiobooks off of my TBR because that is my highest category at the moment. So I really want to curate that, make it a whole bunch of audiobooks that I'm actually excited to read and that I know I'm already going to be into the audiobook narration of it. So that is my big plan. But other than that, it is my birthday month, which is really exciting. So I know that I'm going to be getting some more books onto my physical TBR, which is something I want to plan for. Like I said for this week, how I want to read more physical books, I definitely want to continue that and try to not make too much of an increase in my physical TBR when my birthday does come around. But other than that, I will see you all in next week's vlog. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment whatever you feel like commenting, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!